Hi everyone, and welcome to the next episode of Iconic Insights by Icon Accounting. So today we are joined by Cuty Gupta, who is the owner of CozmoTec. So she's here to tell her story about becoming a tech founder and her journey on setting up her own business. Hi everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the Iconic Insights podcast by Icon Accounting. So today our guest is Cuty Gupta, and she is the owner of CozmoTec. So thanks, Amin, for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Not at all.
It's been lovely.
Not at all, Cuty. Pleasure to have you. I am particularly excited about this episode. Can't lie. Can't lie.
Everything tech.
Everything tech. Yeah, but we've also got, again, I suppose, just to give some insight into this podcast, I think it's going to be absolutely, definitely very interesting, obviously, for contractors. They'll get inspiration from it. But from our recruitment partners' perspective, listen up. Yeah. Listen up. You need to be listening to what Cuty is saying here with regards to a couple of solutions she's developed. But before we get going and before we get into all that good stuff, we are going to start with quickfire questions.
Sure.
So these quickfire questions have typically not been quick in the past, but we'll do our best. Are you a coffee or a tea person in the morning?
Tea.
Tea person.
First job title?
Dentist.
Android or iPhone?
iPhone. Always.
Always?
Always.
Have you ever tried Android even?
I have, maybe for 6-7 months, but no, since I started using iPhone, never went back, and I cannot imagine myself going back, so no.
No. Okay.
Do you have pets?
I do, yes. Odin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a baby more than a pet now, isn't
That's it. Exactly, yeah. Very true.
And what is your favourite hobby outside of work?
Work.
What is this outside of work you speak of?
Oh God. I think I enjoy working, to be honest with you. So that my hobby would be working, to be honest with you. I like traveling a lot. I like learning visiting new cities, new countries, learning their cultures. So I can consider myself, that can be a hobby, yeah.
Excellent. You do work as a hobby as well?
Yeah, no, I definitely enjoy it. Yeah. There's certain areas of work which I don't like doing at this point in time. But like if I am doing what I like, I can do it 24/7. That gives me energy.
It's like your passion.
Exactly.
But work hard, play hard, like you say. So getting a bit of traveling in there is nice as well.
Yeah.
So if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
That's a tough question. It can be I'm not a summer or a beach person, so I can imagine myself living maybe in Switzerland.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Nice. I can picture that as well, to be fair. Name one thing you can't live without. I
better say Anvesh now.
I was going to say, please do not say Odin, please. It has to be Anvesh.
Well, Odin was coming up, but yeah, I better say Anvesh. But Anvesh and Odin.
Yeah, 100%. That's fair. So family.
That's it.
The best advice you've ever received?
Be patient.
Best advice? it's like, obviously that's so tough. Do you know that it makes sense in every walk of life, but it is tough at times.
That's it, exactly. And to be honest with you, that is one thing which I lack a lot. I have no patience and I want everything now. Yeah. So I think anyone who knows me, the only advice they will be giving is, things will happen. Just be patient. So I think it helps me to stay on the game and then not get annoyed with myself. So definitely, I think I need that advice. All of them, yeah.
Like every day.
Exactly, yeah, every day.
No, that's fair. That's fair. If you weren't in your current job, what would you be doing? Oral and maxillofacial surgeons. I always wanted to be a surgeon, so I think I would be in the medical industry for sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
If you could master any skill instantly, what would it be?
That's teleportation.
I was going to say, what skill hasn't Cuty got, to be honest? Like, I'm trying to flick through them. We can take teleportation. I think that's probably the only thing you've got left on your list to tick off. So if you get there, please do let us know. What would be the top item on your bucket list?
Top item on my bucket list? I want to go to Antarctica. So, I want to do that again. I was planning on doing that in December. But I think that's going to take 3 weeks. I have to take 3 weeks off, which is not going to be happening now. But that's one thing which I always wanted to do. So, yeah.
2025.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
I'm like, Cuty never stops. So I'm like,
what's early and what's late in Cuty's clock? Do you think you could win a game show? And I'm going to add a little bit of a spin on it and say, what game show would you choose?
I don't think I can win a game show, to be
stop it.
honest with
Yes,
you.
Cutie, let there be no doubt you can win a game show. Whatever one you wanted as well. That's why I wanted to get some insight into what one you chose.
Oh God.
The chase? Do you like to chase?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I can. Yeah, I can try to chase. I don't know if I'll.
I can picture you taking on all of the chasers, you know, at once.
Yeah. It's only clicks what it was, and I'm like, oh yeah, now I'm like.
What other ones would be good? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Could see on that.
Yeah.
That would be a good one, isn't it? If I win that, oh my God.
You still
would
wouldn't stop. You still go straight back to the office afterwards.
Well, yeah.
Which I admire. So that's our quick fire questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to get into a little bit more of your background, Cuty, if you don't mind, because again, as part of the podcast, we do like to give, I suppose, any of the viewers a little bit of insight into who you are, and essentially what has inspired Cuty to become Cuty. So, do you mind giving us some insight into what inspired you to become a game changer in tech first?
Yeah. So I think I'll take you a step back. So I moved to Ireland 10 years ago, and I always wanted to be a surgeon. So never thought I would be in tech industry whatsoever. But then life happened. So I had to change my career. And I joined Icon. So as you all know very well. So it was 2018. I still remember changed my career, joined an accountancy firm. And very soon I realized that my passion is to make businesses more efficient. And then I was able to do that for the past 4 years when I was working in Icon. And as we all know that there is a culture in Icon which fosters anyone, no matter who it is, that, if you have a dream, you can achieve it. You just need to show that you want to do things. And I was, fortunate enough to be given the opportunity to work and follow my passion, make the difference. I could see the difference in the business as well, which allowed me and which made me more motivated. And then, it was just a journey. I think I was going to do that anyway, but I think having worked in Icon kind of gave me that launch pad and allowed me to speed up that process. So, I think it just makes me happy when I can see, when I can make a difference in any business, when I can see, okay, they were doing things so much manual, and then when I can see, okay, it saved them so much time and they're happy with it. So that's what motivates me.
I'm thinking of all of the iconic processes and thinking what would they actually look like if Cuty wasn't in the building, because like we've obviously seen that firsthand, Cuty, in terms of, the way you come in, look at a problem, not only can you take it away obviously and come up with a solution, but instantaneously identify ways that the actual process can be improved, the efficiencies can be completely rewired to a certain extent, that it almost makes it look like this is not a SME company. This is a game changing company. This is a market leader.
Yeah.
It's inspiring for everyone around you, to be honest.
No, and I think and I did not even realize that I had it in me. But when I started working here and I started doing these things, it just made me realize that I have this natural, I would say, ability to find out problems and then the solution for that using technology. Like I had no technology background whatsoever. I started doing some courses, then eventually when I was working as director of tech in Icon, did my PMPs and stuff like that. But when I started, I had no tech background and still I was able to make, sense of it. And I think that's what I say, everyone as well. Technology is not about, everyone is intimidated by technology. It's not about, coding. That's it. Yeah. It's not about coding. It's about, it's about breaking down the process and logic, and if you can do it manually, of course, technology can do it for you as well. And it's going to save time. It's going to reduce errors. So, and we've seen it firsthand. So that's why I say to everyone, like, don't be afraid of using technology. Just try it out. It's a journey. It can't fix your problem tomorrow, but at least be the part of that journey.
Yeah.
The drive that must have taken, obviously, as well, working full time, doing operational duties, obviously, fixing every issue that the organization encountered, but still to find that time to go out and, develop a new skill set and understand different languages. And
to be honest with you, it never felt like that I was doing anything different. It felt like I wanted to do it. No one forced me to do it. And that's the beauty of it. No one forced me to take this role or take this job. I asked for it and I was given the opportunity. And because I asked for it, I enjoyed every single bit of it. Even when I was doing courses or learning new things, it was like, I was so happy with myself and it never felt like a burden to me. It was like, let's do it. And when I was able to perform or learn new things, or when I was able to do things which I couldn't do before, it just gave me more motivation and more drive. So it was just related to each other. So never felt like, that I have to find time or, oh no, I can't, it's taking up my personal life or whatever. It never felt like that. And to be honest with you, also Anvesh is the part of a journey in that, like, my husband has always been supporting of that, and we have been doing things together. So it works
That
out
helps.
well.
That definitely helps.
Absolutely, it does. Yeah.
Where do you think that drive comes from? Sorry, I'm going to let Sean back in here in a moment, but I'm fascinated, I have to say. Like, and again, this is why I love the podcast so much. Like, I have worked side by side with you for years. Sean has worked side by side with you for years. But there's going to be things to come out today that will be news for us.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So that's what's so refreshing about it. But what I'd love to get a further insight on Cuty, if you can even point it back to kind of one source of origin. Where did that drive come from?
My dad.
Okay.
Definitely, I can pinpoint it. I've seen him working. That's him, and I'm a mirror image of him.
Okay.
Whenever he's visiting us here as well. Now he is 65. He should be well retired now. But whenever he will be here, after a week, he just misses work, and he's just like, he would be on phone. He would be trying to make things better at his work as well. And I've seen him since I was a kid. I've seen him working. He would be leaving around 9 o'clock in the morning and coming back at 10 o'clock in the night. And having said that, it doesn't mean that he never gave us time. Even if he's coming at 10 o'clock in the night, he will take us to ice cream shops, go for a drive, and he spent full time with us as well as family. But the drive, and along with that, his name is well recognized in his industries, and everyone knows him. And that feeling in his eyes, like, he was proud of himself, and I'm just like, I want to be like him, that if I do something, people should know me of what I'm doing. And definitely, and when he sees these podcasts or he sees this journey, the proud in his eyes make me feel
imagine.
So no, it's but definitely it's all down to my dad. Definitely,
that's unbelievable.
And, like, people should know me. That's good quote.
I like that. I absolutely like that, and you deserve that as well, to be completely transparent, Cuty. Next part of this question, I'm going to leave it to Sean to take over. I feel like I'm going too heavy here, so
I guess we'll move on to CozmoTec. So kind of when was that, like, decision made that, okay, I'm going to start CozmoTec essentially?
I think it was 2022 most likely. I think late 21 and 22, when I could see the journey of Icon. I could see how we have progressed as a company in Icon. I know we have always been using technology in Icon. Like, we have always been very much supportive of technology. We've always have latest technology and advanced tools within our system. But when we implemented more and more in the last 3-4 years, I could see the difference, and I was like, there is a need for this in the market, because when I was researching about it, I could not find any company who helped particularly SMEs to leverage technology and automate their processes. And I was like, every business deserves to have some sort of advice in there, which they lack. Even if there is an SME who want to grow their business and automate their processes, first of all, they haven't a clue where to start from. They can't go to likes of EY and KPMG, and then, because it's too expensive for them. And then what they do is they just end up doing the same process every day, which is not beneficial for anyone. So that's when I thought, like, it will be a really good service which I can provide to this industry, and I can fill that market gap by being available to them, giving them the advice which they deserve. So that's where the idea came from.
Good. And I think that actually goes on to the next question as well. So it's kind of like, what are the core solutions or services in your eyes for CozmoTec?
Well, I always say to everyone that, we at CozmoTec, we give away the most valuable resource on this planet, which is time, to our customers. So again, the solution is unique to the problem businesses are facing. Every business is unique, and so there are problems. So I believe there's not one solution in the market which I can say, okay, everyone should use this because, and it's going to solve all your problems. It needs proper attention. What are the challenges your business are facing? How do you do your processes on a day-to-day basis? And based on that, we decide, okay, this is the solution. And then there can be a product out already in the market which can fit the purpose, and that can be beneficial, or there might be a need to develop a bespoke solution for you. And then the whole analysis is done. And based on that, we decide, okay, what is the solution which we can provide? We develop the solution from start. It involves all sort of technology, be it AI, machine learning, or, some Python languages, data analysis. So the solution depends on the problem businesses are facing. So we can develop solutions for them. We can do dashboards. We can provide consultancy. So I would say there's a whole range of suite of services which you can provide to our clients.
Yeah, it is. But what really stood out to me there was the kind of, I suppose, the moment in time, like you said, the most valuable resource on this planet, which is definitely time. It's the fact that CozmoTec have a culture of, we're not going to create a solution if we don't need to create a solution.
Exactly.
First and foremost, we're here to advise on what's the best solution. If there's pros and cons to that solution, we'll break them down, we'll present them, and then ultimately it's the customer's decision.
Exactly. But at the same time, it's not just about providing the solution. It's about the journey as well. So we just don't come in and do the analysis and give you the solution and off we go. It's just, we are in this journey together with you. So even if the solution is provided, because, whenever we are automating anything, it's not just technology you're bringing in. There is a whole lot of change management which you need to do as an organization. People are afraid of various things happening in the market. There's so much myth about AI that AI is going to replace my job, and people need education. So when we deliver anything, we try to train the staff. We try to give them demos and make sure that we are in this journey. So it's not like, we've delivered the solution. We will sit down with your team one-to-one, give them demos, make sure they're trained properly to use the system. And then after that as well, we are available, at just by a phone call. You can reach out to us, and if there's any problem, we can solve it for you. So I think, and that's the full suite of service which SME industry lacks, because you will find people who will develop the solutions for you, and then that's it. Their job is done. There are some people who will be giving advice and consultancy, but they don't know where to get the automation or solution from. So my idea was to have this one-stop shop from the start of, what is the problem, what is the solution, and then even when the solution is being done, develop the solution, implement it, train it, and then support it. And then keep on improving the solution as well, because what suits your business today is not going to suit your business tomorrow. And you have to keep on improving on it. If you don't, then you are going to be fall behind from your competitors. So, you have to it's a journey. Technology implementation is not a month job. It is a journey, a lifetime journey for you with your business.
Change with the times, essentially.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. And again, like you say, Cuty, I think you touched on a couple of really good points there in terms of AI replacing jobs, etc. Look, I don't think that's a reality in my opinion. I think it will change how we work, but it's not going to completely replace human beings.
Exactly, yeah. And it will create better jobs, because at the moment, no one likes doing, keying in the numbers every day. So if you
can Excel sheets.
Exactly, no one likes doing it. So if you can automate that, sure, why not? And then it will free up the time to ideate more. And if you will have a time to ideate more, you will be creating with the new strategies to grow business, to bring in more clients, to increase your offerings. So,
No, perfect. Do you think from your experience in CozmoTec so far, that's a USP that CozmoTec have? I certainly haven't come across, now don't get me wrong, I probably wouldn't be in touch with as many tech providers as you would have been over your career. But even when we've been trying to, let's say, introduce different kind of sales technologies, the one thing about me is I love a demo. As in, I'll look on a demo and I'll be blown away by the software. Then I get a proposal document across, and then I'm kind of like, I don't know how to compare this one with that one. And that's where CozmoTec can really step in and take that kind of pain away.
That's exactly it. Because again, there's so many systems doing the same thing in the market. How do you pick whatever is the best for you? And then there's so many pros and cons. Plus, along with that, when you implement that as well. So if you have gotten a proposal from a software company, you implement that. And then what happens? Who take care that is your team actually using the system or not? And that's the most important thing. You can invest as much as you want in the technology. What if the people don't decide not to use it? Then it's no use. And then we will be blaming the technology didn't work. But it's not like it, and that's the whole thing which we need to think of. And that's what I said to my clients as well. Like, if you're thinking that I want to implement any technology in my business, you have to sit down. First of all, why do you need that technology? What is the reason? What is the problem it's going to solve for you? And once you know all of this, who do you need? Who are the stakeholders? Are your staff the stakeholders? If they are, you need to enlighten them with the vision. Why are you bringing in this technology? What are the benefits it's going to create for their job as well? Make sure that they're aware that it's not going to take their job. It is to make sure that it is their assistant rather than taking the job for them. And once you have trained them and empowered them with this knowledge, then everything is easy for you, and you will see a lot of ideas coming in from left, right, and center. And I think that's the key to success when implementing technology. It's the management of whole thing, and that's what we do. From my point of view, I think the USP is the customer experience, and our team is ready to go above and beyond for every customer. Doesn't matter who they're. We just don't go after blue chip clients. That's not who we are. Every client is a blue chip client for us, and we try our best to give them the best in class customer experience they've gotten, and they won't be getting it anywhere else. So that's what I would like to put
Excellent.
my USP as.
Yeah. I've only heard some of the, let's say, jobs or tasks Cuty has been put with, like with a particular product that we're going to go on to, and like the hours, I'm like, oh my God, just like fair play to you.
Will we jump into that now?
Yeah, I think
it makes
it's
sense
time.
to do so. I'll let you start.
So RecruitPro.
Oh,
Yeah.
And this is where our agency partners need to, sit up in their chair, stop boiling the kettle for a minute, just sit still for about 5-10 minutes, and you'll get an awful lot of insight into what RecruitPro can do.
Definitely. So obviously we work with a lot of recruitment agencies, recruiter consultants, and I guess it's really to discuss what RecruitPro is, kind of explain the idea behind it and how it is going to make a massive change to the recruitment world.
Yeah. So considering my background with the recruitment industry as well, so I have worked with Icon, and I know that I clearly understood the pain points which we were facing as well when we were dealing with different recruitment agencies, and the amount of errors happening because of such a small issue, and then that resulted in delayed in payment for our contractors, and then contractors being unhappy. So I was kind of, I remember it, I think it was a year and a half ago or so. I was just trying to figure out how we can improve that process with Icon. And while I was thinking that, I just realized, I have an idea which can solve this problem, not just for companies like Icon, for everyone and for the recruitment industry. And that's where the idea of RecruitPro came from. The main features is, and it's specifically for temporary workers and contractors. And what it does is it helps businesses to manage the recruitment industry, to manage the contractors onboarding. It takes away the hassle of compliance management. I know when we onboard contractors, there is a lot of documentation that needs to be done. And there's a lot of follow-ups and chasing that needs to be done from recruitment industry's point of view to get these documents in place, which is time consuming. And it's not adding any value chasing for documents. So this system is fully automated, and it chases the document onboarding for the contractors as soon as they're onboarded. And then it sends the login details to the contractors where they can upload the documents and stuff like that. So it manages the compliance end of things. It also manages document for the contractors. So they can upload their personal documents, their references, CVs and stuff like that themselves, so that recruitment industry won't have to chase them. And I think the biggest element of this system is timesheet management system. So what it does is it allows contractors to fill in their timesheets, and then as soon as the contractor fill in the timesheets, approvals get sent out. And once the timesheet is approved, no one has to do anything. The system automatically generates the self-bill invoice for the contractor, the client invoice or the sales invoice for the end client, integrates with your accounting package. So all these steps, which has to be done manually, which used to take at least 5 to 10 minutes per invoicing to cross-check everything, is now done within seconds as soon as your timesheet is approved. So no one has to do anything. All that they need to do is just go in, cross-check that all the details are fine, and if they're happy, just send the email, and that's all. So it automates all of that. So yeah, these are some of the functionalities.
Just some of the functionalities.
Yeah.
That'll be a clip in itself and that'll be a nice second. I do want to go back on a couple of them because again, it's really refreshing, obviously, for us. We're, I suppose, part of the team that does the onboarding piece. We see firsthand in terms of, again, not only the I suppose, sending the company documents in the first place, like you say, if a contractor hasn't filled in their timesheets, but then they're reaching out looking for their funds, like it can be stressful, particularly for a recruitment agency that has, a wide, let's say, contract desk.
Absolutely.
What really stands out to me about what you've said there is it doesn't just look after one part of the actual process. It's literally from the point of onboarding. It steps in, it takes over the management of actually requesting the compliance documents to get onboarded and started. But then after that, even it's a case where you're not only thinking of the recruitment agency, you're also thinking of the actual candidate as well. So from an approval process, then it should speed up payments.
Exactly.
It should mean that month end in a recruitment industry and in a recruitment agency should be a lot less stressful.
Exactly.
Because they're not chasing against the time, obviously, that the bank is open to send payments, etc. So it really does consolidate the whole back end operation of a
Exactly. And I think I think most of the recruitment industries have a set dates when they're going to pay. So if they have 100 contractors, they have to key in these figures manually themselves in the bank. It is time consuming, first of all, but at the same time, it is really, really prone to errors. Like, I can easily type in, instead of 5625, I can type in 5265, which can be easily done. And again, it leads to error, it leads to delay in payments, and there's a lot of back and forth going on. So with RecruitPro, it creates the payment, SEPA payment file for you as well. So once you have figured out who you want to pay, the system automatically generates the payroll report for you. And then all you need to go is log into your bank and upload the bank. So,
in one file.
In one file.
And it pays all the contractors.
It pays all the contractors. So again, I think that is one of the biggest, value add of the system as well, because you don't have to key in the figures manually yourself, which takes time anyway. And I think it is more accurate. So you know who you're paying. There are less chances of error as well, because the system already have the bank details. Your bank details should match the bank. If it doesn't match, it won't pay. So it does the audit itself as well. So that's another thing. So yeah, I think that's one of the value add.
Okay. So compliance, security. It's, it's like, don't get me wrong. We've come across multiple different timesheet systems, because some agencies and some hiring clients, they'll have separate platforms that they want you to upload. It does seem like a crowded market. But what you've done with just a simple timesheet solution, which it's absolutely not. I think calling it a timesheet solution is a massive understatement for what RecruitPro actually is.
Yeah.
It's actually a whole back-end operation for a recruitment agency.
That's exactly it. But at the same time, it has the machine learning algorithm in the background, which does the predictive analysis and forecasting of your, of what you're going to earn as well and how your contracting is going. So it every time, once you have enough data, like if you've used RecruitPro for a year, you would have enough information of when contractors are going on holidays, when to expect your fees to be decreased because of contract getting finished and all of those. So that insight, which is always valuable for senior management, has never been available. Or if it was available, someone will have to manually go in and then do these reports, which is time consuming again.
Months of work, surely.
Exactly. And you can never confirm that these stats which has been provided manually are correct. So because these are prone to errors. So that's what RecruitPro does as well, because all the data exists in one platform. You can gain any insights from it, and you can set your own KPIs, which you would like to see on a dashboard in real time. So that's what it does as well.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's something I've learned about the system now. I did not know that.
Obviously, Cuty, and I'm hoping obviously plenty of our recruitment partners are going to be listening to this. It's a case that a lot of them will already have systems in place, whether that be accountancy packages, whether it's CRM systems. What does RecruitPro look like in terms of actually being able to talk or communicate, or is it completely standalone, or what does it look like?
No, we integrate with all these systems. So we never wanted to get into the CRM space because there's a lot of systems already there in the market which are really good. We wanted to create something which complements these systems and which will make sure that the other systems are working better and by integrating with these systems. So we can integrate once your system which you're using has an open API and it has the flexibility of connecting with their system, we can integrate with any system because RecruitPro has an open API itself. And at the same time, we integrate with accounting package solution as well, like Xero, Big Red Cloud, Cashflow. Once they have the API, we can integrate with them so that the invoices that gets created in RecruitPro, you don't have to duplicate your work and create them again. It just by a click of a button, you just need to click send to Xero, for example, and that sends all the information and creates the invoices in the accounting package for you as well.
It's unbelievable because the way I look at it is not only does it obviously solve a massive problem for a company that has a massive contract desk, to me, it should also provide an awful lot of inspiration to some of the smaller and bespoke recruitment agencies, which are equally valuable, don't get me wrong, in terms of the proposition they offer to the market. But I can only imagine that come month end, all of their ambitions to grow come crashing down because it's like, I can't literally take on any more time to, like you say, manually key in, manually check timesheets against invoices, clarify that with the actual end term client to make sure it's correct, go back to the contractor to correct it if it is input incorrectly. And then obviously you've got the individual payments to the banks. I would say it would be massively inspiring for a smaller bespoke agency to know that, well, actually from an operational perspective, I can compete with these big heavy hitters.
And to be honest with you, there's a lot of work done in the background by recruitment agencies when they are sending invoices to the end client. Just for example, there can be one end client which wants all the invoices, all the contractors who have a particular project number in one invoice. Then the other agency or other end client might have a requirement that they want all their invoice, all the contractors with a particular purchase order number in one invoice, whereas others just want one invoice per candidate. So there's so many customization, or there's so many different rules goes into play when they have to send the invoices to the end client, and that's where the maximum amount of work is taken. And that's what we automate as a part of a customization as well. So we understand how your process works, and then based on that, we create customization rules just for your end of the RecruitPro. So it's not just a standalone product itself. Like, it has product with its own functionalities, but at the same time, we understand your process, come up with a solution to add that to the process or to the RecruitPro, and then build a mini RecruitPro just for your industry so that, it's customized for your needs and what your operation team needs.
So you don't have to worry about people going on annual leave. You don't have to worry about losing staff or, because obviously, again, it's a challenge because like you say, when there's so many different rules and requirements on a per end term client basis, if anyone is away unexpectedly or otherwise at that month end time, it's manic. It's panic stations. It's issues, delays to payment obviously have an impact on the brand. It just completely steps in and streamlines the whole.
And I think most of the time, most of the processes are in people's brain. So, because they're doing it day in, day out, they don't even think that they need to record these things anywhere. And then when they're going on holidays or if they are not available for any reason, the process goes along with them. So you don't know what to do with it. And then that is the biggest challenge. So I think if you have a process written down somewhere, if you're not automating, that's what I said. The other thing is write down your process otherwise, because what are you going to do? You're just dependent on one person.
Yeah.
And then anything can happen. My business cannot be just dependent on myself.
You made me do that. I think it was probably 2 or 3 years ago at this stage, in terms of there was a particular issue that we were trying to solve and you were like, literally write it down step by step. And it was so refreshing to actually step back and look at it. As much as I understood what was happening,
exactly,
to look at it and think how many additional steps are in here that don't need to be here, and how can we, so definitely a takeaway for anyone if they are looking at process mapping. That's the perfect place to start.
Exactly. Yeah. If you write down everything, then I think you're taking a step back as well. You're thinking what you're doing and why you're doing it. And then all of a sudden you might just realize, I'm just making a mistake. I don't need to do this process. This process has become redundant now. So, let's innovate and let's improve in your process as well. So that's, again, very important. And I suggest it to every business as well. Like every 6 months or once a year, you need to sit down and then, revisit your processes, see how you're doing things. And we need to change. Change is the only constant, right? So
I'm going to put you on the spot before I hand back to Shauna, right?
No pressure.
It's absolutely evident, right, that RecruitPro is not only solving a massive kind of industry challenge that exists out there, but what's very, very kind of, I suppose, relevant and present when I hear more about RecruitPro is that you're not just looking at one segment of kind of the actual industry where you're delivering RecruitPro to. So, for example, what I mean by that is you're thinking about the recruiters, because their life is going to be made easier. If onboarding is made easier, we can recruit more, we can earn more, we can grow, etc.
Yeah.
You're thinking about the operational people internally, whether that's finance, admin, whatever it may be. Their lives will be made easier. And then you've also looked at senior level management, directors, etc., in terms of the insights and value it can create there. Who so far has been the biggest influencer?
I think operations team.
Okay.
And I would say
I can see why as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I think senior management, definitely, because the insight they've gotten and the strategic decision they are able to take now because of that insight, definitely has helped.
Excellent. And again, they're probably seeing things as well, like morale improving,
exactly,
errors reducing, customer experience improving. Like it's ticking an awful lot of boxes for senior management.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, I'm gonna cool off again.
So you've mentioned it a few times there, change.
Yes.
So how do you balance like tech innovation, the drive to bring in like a different solution, and then people that have a fear of technology?
Good question, to be honest with you.
Is that problem one that can be solved?
No, definitely. I think the key to all solution, the question here is making people understand what they are doing and why they are doing. Do not use technology jargons. Try to talk to them in a language which they can understand and which can make sense for them, because I know it is daunting, it is intimidating that no one, like non-tech background people, they don't understand technology. How are they going to, if I'm going to say them that we are going to use blockchain technology in it, or we are going to use deep learning in it, they don't understand this. So there's no point in talking to them in that language. Instead, try to explain the problem, try to explain the solution, and try to explain how that solution is going to work. That's all they need to know. And then everything else in the background is going to help. And I think once you explain people why, your life is made easier. So you need to explain why. And then once people understand, oh, that's the reason why we are doing things, that's easy.
Yeah, I can imagine it's a lot easier to get buy-in with communication around it.
Yeah.
One of the best pieces of advice I actually ever got, and it just came back to me when you were, I suppose, answering that question, was I had a particular problem and I was going to the managing director to try and get a little bit of support as to how do I fix this problem.
Yeah.
And the very first question he answered, I suppose, he answered my question with a question and said, well, who's the audience? because the difference in terms of
exactly
who
it.
you're speaking to needs to be obviously the way that the language is delivered as well.
Exactly. And then that's why I keep saying that, we need to understand every problem is unique, and we need to understand what are we trying to achieve here, and who is the solution for?
Yeah.
And based on that, everything changes, So yeah.
Good. I think let's jump back into the business insights a bit
Yeah,
more.
absolutely.
So why did you decide to transition from being employee to self-employed? And have you seen a shift in your own professional growth?
Why? I think I always like challenges. I get bored very easily. So I enjoyed my time during Icon, definitely, and I am still working with Icon. I can't say that we are not working closely. I'm still working closely with Icon, but I think I needed more challenge. I needed to get more insight on how different industries is performing. I needed more time to think how I can innovate and bring new ideas to life. So I think that's why I chose that I should start some on my own and then start a new business. Definitely, the learning in the last 1.5 years has been, it's like a crash course. I was telling it to you earlier when we were in a car as well. I've learned so much, not in just operations, not in just technology, in every aspect of business. Having your own business is a different ballgame altogether. You need to be doing everything, be it, manually doing tasks to, finding out the sales strategy, to finding out marketing strategy, to finding out ops strategy, to managing the team remotely. It's like you are wearing so many hats at the same time. And I definitely enjoy it. I have my team, not just in Ireland, I have my team in India as well. So I enjoy it that I have to, the challenge of managing them remotely. And then, how I have overcome those challenges, that is really good as well. So definitely I've learned so much in the last 1.5 years, and I'm enjoying it. So, yeah.
And what would be the one lesson for anyone starting off that you would?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, Shauna coming with the heavy questions. One lesson.
I think persistence is the key. You do not get success overnight. You will have, I would say, at least 3 to 4 near-death experience with your business, and I'm not kidding. But that's normal. I think you have to make mistakes. You have to learn from them. Keep doing it, and I think the sooner you will make mistakes, the sooner you're going to learn from them, and the sooner your growth would be. So keep, just be persistent and keep doing what you're doing, and have faith in yourself.
If you could go back and change anything, would you?
I think yes. Which I think I've learned in a year and a half is, that success is not overnight. So, and that's it. So I would, there's a lot of, it takes time, and that is the best way it should happen. If you get success too quick, I think probably you won't be able to, sustain that, because you won't be able to understand how to deal with it. So definitely. So I think, but I've learned, and patience, so that's, I always say it. So, things don't change overnight. You have to keep doing things, and then, be patient. That's
Okay. There's obviously a lot in that as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Patience is a big one. I'm taking patience
for me,
away.
Definitely. I'm that sort of person. I definitely need patience. But I've learned it. Things would stress me out before, which don't now anymore. And I think when we start a business, I used to take stress for everything and anything. No matter what, if I got a lead, I would like to have, I would love to please everyone. And that's what I've been like. And even small things would stress me out, which there's no point in doing that. So, no point in getting stressed. If something goes wrong, just put your chin up, figure out what went wrong, do the analysis of it, and then create a new strategy and move on from there. So I think that's what I've learned, and that's what I would have done earlier in the start. I only learned that after 6-7 months in the business. If I would have known that, I would be maybe 6-7 months ahead, or I wouldn't have sleepless nights.
Well, putting the laptop away might help for a start. But what I was going to say there is that it's really refreshing to hear that, obviously, in terms of don't shy away from the errors or the mistakes.
Absolutely.
Embrace them. They are going to to kind of light the path for you.
And everyone does make mistakes, that's normal. We all are humans. We all learn from a mistake. That's the main thing. If you are adamant that you haven't made a mistake and you don't want to improve, that's the problem.
Okay.
We need to understand, if you have made a mistake, accept it. That's fine. And just learn from it, analyze it. And that's the main thing. If you don't, and as I always said, if you're not failing or if you're not making mistakes, you're clearly doing something wrong, because it's not possible. You have to fail in order to
or
be
you're too
successful.
comfortable.
Or you're too comfortable. And that means you're not going to grow.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you cannot, if you're too comfortable, one thing which I read a very nice quote, which I always say that, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. You have to, if you're challenging yourself every day, you're just creating a better version of yourself. Otherwise, you're doing the same thing, which is fine. Like, I'm not saying everyone needs to do it. It depends on what sort of person you are. But that's not me. I like to do new things. If I'm too comfortable, I get bored. And then I'm not happy with my life. So I like challenges.
No, it's testament to you, Cuty. Testament. Do you have any, I suppose, specific tools, books, courses that you'd recommend based on what you've kind of done so far?
I think there are loads of tools now out there, to be honest, in the market. Really, really good.
Let me rephrase this then, because I know in terms of your experience with tools, let's say, for example, I'm going to hack your laptop today and you can only have one tool. What one tool do you need to keep?
Oh my God, that's a very good question.
Probably Teams, would it be?
Definitely.
In terms of communicating?
Yeah, I like managing the team. Teams. Can I pick 3?
Yeah, okay, we'll give you 3. We'll give you 3. One was a little bit harsh, to be fair. Sorry, we'll give you 3.
No, I think.
I love the way you've got your 3 as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think you have to manage your projects, whatever is going on. And I love Trello for that. And there's so much automation in their workflow processes, reminders. So I definitely recommend Trello for smaller projects, not for bigger projects. Then I am in love with Gamma. The presentation, because Canva is really good as well. So, just using that to create your presentations and stuff like that. I love it. And I think I'm using it so often now because I have to send proposals and stuff like that. So that's absolutely brilliant. So Canva would be another one. And then the third one is I like process mapping. So Lucid Chart and all these, draw.io. This is really good if you want to map down your processes down to T. These are some really good tools, which and that's what I use, I think, nearly every day. So
please don't take the 3 of them away.
Yeah,
then. Okay.
that's it. So
we'll leave them with you. We'll leave them with you, Cuty.
So, as a successful entrepreneur and tech innovator, what has been the most rewarding part of your journey so far?
I think seeing businesses to improve and grow, and then being able to do things which they thought they wouldn't be able to because of the lack of understanding of technology, and ability to be the part of the change or the greater change along with the businesses. I think that's what motivates me, and I like that. That's success for me. So, if there are more businesses who can say that, because of CozmoTec, they were able to implement things which they didn't before, or, they were able to change the way they used to work, that would be success for me.
You're so modest. It is, again, it's refreshing, don't get me wrong, but I can only picture if I was sitting in that chair and someone asked me that question, be like, well, I was at Web Summit. I've been in the Business Post maybe 12 times so far. I've been in, I do really applaud you for it in terms of how modest you are. But the fact that your biggest motivator is actually what you're leaving behind in terms of the change that you've delivered, the success, that's really refreshing as well. I don't think that would be, and again, I could be speaking out of turn here, but I don't think that would be the same for many managing directors of a tech solutions company. Yeah,
I don't know. It depends on person to person. I've always been, for me, the success is not about, when I say it, when I can leave an impact. If I'm talking to someone and if I can leave an impact and if I can inspire someone to make a change, I think that's what has always motivated me, and that's what is success for me. So for myself, that's what I want CozmoTec to be, and all the employees in CozmoTec, the whole family of CozmoTec, that's who I want to create. That, we will be the team of innovators who will go in, talk to business owners, and then make an impact, make a change, so that, they would be able to talk about this journey to 10 and other people as well, and then, they will be growing too.
Absolutely. No, it's refreshing, Cuty, and again, I think that it will inevitably see CozmoTec rise to the very, very top, because that culture, you can see it. Like, I've obviously engaged with a couple of the team. You can see that culture exists right the way throughout the company. And for a company that's quite young in terms of its age, that's very rare.
Yeah, no, I know. And I believe in, again, I don't believe in 9 to 5 work culture ever. I've never believed in that. And that's what we do in CozmoTec as well. Like, if something goes wrong, we will pull overnighter. We are not shy about it, but we celebrate as well. So if we have done everything and there's no work to be done, so what's the point of sitting in front of laptop, right? So, we take our time off as well. But, and that's, I think I would be proud of my team as well. Like, the way we have the team in India as well. Everyone is so much dedicated. And if something goes wrong, I can bet bet you on that I'll ring them and they will answer call at 4:00 in the morning as well. And
Incredible.
that's how I wanted it to be. It's all the big family.
Yeah.
And we all are in this together. It's not about, the client or the client is left on its own. So, and we want to solve the problem and we want to make a difference to our clients. And that's what, that's the culture we have so far. So I've been,
it's
so it's good so far.
It's really, really refreshing. And the fact, like you say, that when we win, we all win. Yeah. When there's an issue, we all,
exactly.
I suppose, kind of gather around and everyone contributes to fixing it. Very, very refreshing. Again, what advice, I suppose, would you give to entrepreneurs looking to start a tech company? What common pitfalls do you think they should avoid?
I think one of the thing is understanding your market really well is really, really good. Sometimes we have an idea and we think we believe in that idea, and there's nothing wrong in it. But we need to validate that idea. We need to make sure that, is that idea, is there a need of the solution? So definitely do a proper market analysis of it. And then be prepared that this is going to be a journey of your lifetime. So, it's not going to be, don't be disheartened with some of the failures you're going to get in the start. This is a journey and you will get there in the end. Have faith in yourself. If you only how many people open up their own business? Not many people. So if you have decided to do that, clearly you have the ability in yourself to do it. So just believe in yourself.
Excellent.
Yeah. And you mentioned the industry there. So what changes would you like to see in the tech industry? And how do you think these changes could benefit independent professionals and SMEs?
I think one of the biggest change I would like is I would like more companies coming up and building solutions which are directed and targeted towards SMEs, because all these bigger solutions which we are developing or the products which are coming in the market, they're all directed towards corporate. There's nothing wrong in it. It's all good as well. But we need to focus more on delivering solutions or bringing in a product or a service which is towards the SME so that they can leverage the technology as well and they can have that benefit too. So I think that's what.
So again, is it about then for you, is it about helping SMEs to compete with those big guys? Does that kind of give you a little bit of
If they want to, yes, why not? Like, if they have a vision, if they want to do that, I don't want them to be left behind because they did not have the clear advice or access to the technology. And 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, they are saying that, we could not compete with our corporate competitors because we didn't have the right resources in place. So if you don't want to, that's your wish. That's fine. And most people have their own visions for the businesses. But if you have a vision that you want to compete with the corporate world, sure, why not? You should have all the resources available for you. And then, let's do it.
Challenge accepted by Miss Cuty Gupta. We need to clip that one. This probably leads into the next one, and it's kind of what emerging trends do you see in technology as the most influential for businesses in the near future? Obviously, AI. Let's remove the elephant from the room. It's a massive buzzword. Has been now for 2-3 years.
That's it. I think. Well, to be honest with you, it has been a buzzword since last year or two. But we all know that AI has been with us for years now. We have been using AI day in, day out, be it your smartphones, your face recognition, your Google Maps, your suggestions on your profiles and stuff like that. That's all machine learning algorithm going on in the background. So we have been using it. We just didn't know it. That's it. But I think definitely AI is emerging. We need regulations, and we know recently the EU AI Governance Act has come into play as well. So that's really good. That's going to make sure that whatever organizations are using AI for is very much documented and it's not being used for the things which we should not be using for. But I think definitely now that AI is available so much, now is the time that you start incorporating AI into your business. When I say that, it doesn't mean that I want to implement AI and we don't even know what it is for. So there is a proper roadmap which we need to decide why you need to implement it and all of those. But I think data analysis is going to be really, really you will see a lot of improvement in data analysis because of these technologies now. Because if you have your data gathered at one place, there's so many tools in the market which can give you insights with just click of a button, which would take ages in order to figure out and do the reporting before. So I think that's another thing. Blockchain is big and it's going to go up and it's going to make massive difference in the way certain industries work. So I think that's going to go up anyway. And I think it's already in there, and it is, it's very much common. So
the way that you've just answered that question kind of gives me inspiration as well, as to like when we had one of our other guests, was it Bertie? We were talking about the next generation. As in the next generation are going to be completely different. They're going to expect things at a different speed. Like I even look at my parents in terms of how they operate versus how I operate. And then I also look at my kids and I'm like, I've never shown you how to do that. How do you know how to do that? In 10 years time, if you're a business and you haven't incorporated AI, and not just for the sake of it, like you say, but if you haven't incorporated,
you'll be left behind.
You're just not going to make the cut, are you?
No, you will be left behind because, again, it's all about automating. So again, when you think about it, it's not about, I said it before as well, it's not about replacing people or save costs. It's not about that. It's about freeing up the time so that you can see what is your value proposition. How can you vasten that? How can you provide your service offering to other customers so that your business can grow? And if you will have time to ideate and think about all of this, you will have your business grown. And then you will see iPhone started with, Apple started with computers and, and then see the way the company has grown. And it's all because they had time to innovate and think. And that's what we need. If you're doing the same thing which you did 10 years ago, I think this is clearly wrong. You need to keep on adding more service, more solutions.
Just ask Nokia. But it's true, isn't it? Like the prime example is to someone that was probably so comfortable in their processes. They were demanding the market. They absolutely dominated in terms of market share. And 3-4 years later, you have zero market share.
You don't. Kodak.
Another one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it is. It's their lessons, I suppose, that people can take away as to. But in my opinion, it's just happening so much faster now. I don't know if it's because I'm older and...
No, I know it is, to be honest with you. Like I remember myself, like when I was kid, I used to get CDs for the movies and I used to play that. And now Netflix is the game changer. Who would be getting in and buying the CDs now to watch a movie? Like that's not happening anymore. So
we've no room in the press anymore for DVDs.
Exactly.
Or videos,
like, that's the main thing. So again, we have seen that first on ourselves. And now with the new technology coming in, it's going to speed up. It's going to make this change even faster. And that's why it's very important to keep up with this change and make sure that we know what's going on and make the informed decision. It's not like you don't have to adopt every single technology which is out there. It might not be suitable for you, but at least make informed decision of what you have to implement.
You've actually given an example of that already, to be fair. Like PowerPoint has been dominating the presentation piece for so long. Gamma comes along, sprinkle of AI in there, and all of a sudden people that were taking 40 minutes to an hour to do a 5 pitch select done.
Exactly. And then it's not about you're asking someone to do the presentation for you. You still have to do the research yourself. You have to figure out what you want that in the presentation, but you don't have to waste your time trying to figure out the colors and all of those, which was not, which is important. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it wasn't your forte and you don't need to waste your time there. AI will do it for you. Your brand guidelines and stuff like that. So I think definitely there is a huge scope in there to use it on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, like again, I can see that happening across multiple industries where there've been, large market leaders dominating the space, and all of a sudden, brand new startups are going to come along, adapt slightly in terms of making the customer experience a little bit more convenient, and you're gone. You're gone.
So the future. What is your vision for CozmoTec over the next 5 years?
Very good
World
question.
domination. Office in Switzerland, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. I would love that, isn't it? That would be cool. No, I want us to be leaders in the SME industry. We should be well recognized. People should know who CozmoTec is, and if they have any problems which they can't think a solution for, if they need technology implemented in their business, the first name that should come in their mind should be CozmoTec. If I'm able to do that in 5 years, I think it would be really good.
If anyone's able, Cuty, it's you.
Cuty is.
Absolutely. In terms of growth and innovation, that's obviously a massive part of what has got CozmoTec to where it is. The plans are to continue that, I presume.
That's it, exactly. We have to, we can't, if you're giving advice, the same advice to others, we have to keep up with it. Absolutely, we have have to implement.
What does that
later.
look like? Do you sit in the mirror and be like, right, this is what
This is what you need to do.
Yourself and Amvest. In fairness, you know, it is like two absolute powerhouses when it comes to solutions and solving problems. But moreover, Cuty, really, really friendly and helpful people as well. So that's why I have no doubt that in the next 5 years, you're definitely going to achieve those things 100%. 100%. In terms of people reaching out and getting in touch, so if we have, whether it's a recruitment agency that's interested in RecruitPro, if we have, let's say, a SME that's in the manufacturing space, how can they reach out? How can they get in touch? And how, I suppose, can they start?
Yeah, I think they can visit our website. It's www.CozmoTec.ie and fill the contact form there. They can reach out to me directly. My email is cuty@cozmotec.ie, which is CozMotec.ie. Or they can ring me directly, which is 08946.
How many managing directors would do that? And we'll make sure, sorry, I cut across you there because I was just absolutely amazed that you were going to do that. Yeah. But, you know, that's absolutely unheard of, where you'll get a managing director of a company saying, here's my mobile number, ring me. Do you know, it's again so refreshing, Cuty, and it's no wonder that the team have bought into the vision of CozmoTec when that's what their leader is doing. Do you know, it is, it's really, really refreshing. Anything else apart from our contractor dilemma?
No, I think that's all good. Covers everything.
Yeah, again, Cuty, absolutely phenomenal. Like, delighted to get you here. We know how busy you are. We completely appreciate how much you've probably had to change and move to make this happen. So we really do appreciate it. Again, we'll make sure obviously all your details are available to everyone. But before we do let you go, Shauna is going to fire a contractor dilemma at you.
Right. So this was one from our latest competition posting on LinkedIn, but very relevant for you. So how can freelancers and contractors leverage emerging technologies like AI and automation to enhance their services? That's a mouthful.
I was kind of trying to read that along. I was like, so basically we're looking for ways that freelancers and independent professionals can use existing technologies.
Emerging
technologies like AI and automation to enhance the service that they deliver to their clients.
I think I'm a huge fan of reading, and I think the more and more you read, the more information you get. So I think the advice I would give is all the latest technologies coming up, read about it, try to be up on the game, and I think once you know that, then you will be implementing them anyway. But I think reading cannot take away anything else. You have to have the knowledge in order to do that. So any freelancers, I know it's hard to be, because you're so much busy in what you're doing, so it's hard to keep up with the other change in the market. But I think the freelancers and contractors, if they are constantly reading various emerging trends coming in, I think they will be up in the they will be relevant.
They're future proofing themselves as well.
Exactly.
Because again, with the rate of change that we're seeing in the market, like, you don't have to be an expert in something, but you definitely have to be aware of it.
Exactly. Because you never know, things, you can interrelate things. You can use, even if you're not an expert in AI, if you're reading about it, you can use it, or you can something might click and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to implement AI into this process and let's start looking at it. So, and then there's so many available tools now in the market where it has made easier for you as well. So, I don't know about everyone, but I use ChatGPT a lot just to make my life easier. It's not about I'm completely dependent on it. At the same time, if I'm stuck at something, I might just give prompt to ChatGPT and then get the results. And then all I need to do is verify if that result is right or not. So,
Yeah, I'm quite similar. Sorry, we're going to go back into the start of this as well. But we are, because again, the way I use ChatGPT is quite similar. I'm not looking for you to answer the question, but I'm just looking for a little bit of inspiration as to how I should start, or maybe a different point that I haven't considered that can again kind of add value to the actual proposition or delivery.
Exactly.
Would you be willing to name one resource that you'd recommend to people in terms of keeping up with those emerging trends, whether it's a website or a newsletter?
I think I know there are various TechCrunch. Definitely, I would go for that. And then there are various I signed up with various newsletters, like tech newsletters, so I keep getting the updates from there as well. So that too. So yeah.
Even a tech expert like Cuty envisions that every day is a school day.
Absolutely. I think we learn everything, we learn new things every day. So definitely.
Excellent. Cuty, thank you so much again for your time. Really appreciate it. And do make sure to check out CozmoTec. You can follow obviously on LinkedIn. You can check out the website and also RecruitPro for any of our recruitment partners out there, because I promise you will not regret it. It will completely revolutionize how you're doing things.
And thanks a million to Factory 44 again for having us in their studio. Guys, if you haven't checked them out, make sure you do. And yeah, thanks for listening.